Hello and welcome to, I believe, round 6 of the Discord L5R League. Today we have Chute versus Darkdistroi. It's going to be a Phoenix versus Crane matchup. I've been playing mostly Crane myself, so I'm going to be rooting for Crane. But I'm going to try and keep my analysis and my commentating as objective as possible. With that being said, go Crane, go Crane, go Crane! I'm going to, or at least supposed to have Kingsley commentating with me. As of yet, he has not joined my chat group or this game. Hopefully we'll see him soon, unless maybe he's flying Zergling, I don't know. Hello! Hey!
Hey, you there?
Yep.
Running Bear, can you hear me?
I sure can. Hello?
Try again, my headphones were disconnected.
Hello?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey! Alright, I have my other commentator. Are you flying Zergling?
No, I'm Kingsley.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know, just like some people have different names on Discord, but there's, yeah, I guess, yeah, you haven't joined the game yet then.
Yeah, is the game now hosted?
Yep, it's up.
Tight. I'm gonna join up. One sec.
Sweet. Yeah, and the stream should be live.
Let's see here. Okay. We did have tabletop sim. Let's see here. What's the game name?
It should be in the chat. It's L5R Chut.
Cool. And what's the password?
Capital Q. Just a Q capitalized.
Okay, I should be connecting now. We'll see if this internet is good enough for this. Let's see here. I will be server. All right, I am, I believe, set up anytime you're ready.
Yeah, me too.
Let's. Are we streaming now?
Alrighty.
Are we streaming?
Yep. Yeah, we've been streaming.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure we got a really exciting stream of us figuring out what the
Yeah.
password was connecting to the
Oh my
server.
goodness, riveting. I mean, I was here already, so.
Yep.
Can you see their hands?
I cannot.
Okay.
Normally for the streams, we actually haven't been doing that.
Oh, I'm all about seeing hands.
Yeah, we had. There's no way to set more than one person to be able to see the hand, and we had turned it off to avoid stream sniping.
Oh, okay. I mean, is this tournament for anything? Like, is there a prize?
I don't know. I don't think there's going to be.
Yeah, like I can't imagine there's too much stream sniping going on. We can. I mean, I guess the cat's out of the bag because I've seen their hands, but we can. I suppose it's possible to turn it off.
Yeah, if you change your color and you set it from dark gray to normal gray, it should solve it. All right.
Cool. I guess we're gonna go in blind. All right, so let's talk a little bit about these starting boards. So looks like first player is Crane. They're on Doji Challenger, Doji Hotaru, Kakita Kaizen, and Asahina Artisan. I definitely think you should just pull out the Doji Challenger here to start. You can like force Isawa into a non-void conflict if they do that. Which like they almost certainly will because they have two copies. Like it would only make sense. Yeah, so far I like these plays. I think that Doji Challenger is correct. I think 2 Fate is nice. It lets you, still threaten plays from your hand a little bit. Interesting to see if they decide to put out the Asahina Artisan here or just pass. Okay, looks like they're going for it. I think it's a good decision because otherwise you're only on one body and that can be awkward in the first turn. Yeah, this is an interesting decision from Phoenix as to whether to put a Fate on the Diplomat or not. It's a bit inefficient to play a 2-drop without any Fate on it, but on the other hand, going to 0 Fate makes your hand a lot less threatening. Way fewer things for the opponent to have to play around. Both 5 bids, pretty standard. You're getting a little like static, by the way.
Yeah, so looking at this situation, Chutereve has a very strong start with the Doji Challenger when going first. That's always what Crane wants to see. And now with Away of the Crane, he's enabled his Voice of Honor, and that Challenger is going to be very menacing for this first turn. It does mean Phoenix is a little up on cards. They're 2 cards up with their Forgotten Library. Yeah, Cloud of the Mind, good counter there. Challenger is probably one of the cards you most want to use that on.
Yeah, definitely. And especially on this board, because the Challenger's threatening to pull Isawa into a non-void conflict, which is basically just a total waste of the character. Like 4 Fate for 3/3 is kind of garbage, but in a void conflict, she's obviously doing a lot of work. So anytime you can force her to participate in a non-void conflict, you're doing really good work here. I'm pretty sure Chutereve is splashing Dragon though, so we'll see if he has a let go to get rid of that Cloud the Mind.
Yeah, I believe Chutereve is playing the more conventional Crane Dragon Splash, though recently a bunch of people have been testing out Crane Scorpion Splash, which is kind of an interesting alternative.
I don't like it. I started Dragon and I like Dragon and I think I'm going to stick with Dragon. I think Miyamoto's Fury and Let Go, both really good in really different matchups. I think it gives you really wide coverage and coverage that Crane needs. Crane already has really good event countering with Voice of Honor. I don't think you need the Forged Edict as much. It's like it's nice to have more, but I think covering your weaknesses with Miyamoto's Fury and Let Go is better. Okay, so we see that this attack political was fire, but now earth thanks to Elemental Fury. Interesting that he didn't switch it to a void conflict to take advantage of Isawa. I guess he's not planning on defending, at least not with her.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The Cloud the Mind does make the situation a lot stabler for the Phoenix. Though it does look like this is likely going to be a break, almost regardless of what they do. I suspect they may be planning to try to make two conflict. Oh, maybe they are defending. Okay.
Yeah, and this is why I don't understand switching it to Earth rather than Void. If you're going to put in your Isawa, it seems like you want her to get...
Perhaps the plan is that the Diplomat will attack with the Water Ring to stand Isawa.
Yeah,
but yeah,
possibly.
I do think that swapping onto Void, well, yeah,
well,
I
because
mean,
if you want to save the Void Ring for later.
I think he's trying to make the opponent use his Doji Challenger here. Or not Doji Challenger, Asahina Artisan. I'm a little mixed up.
Well, the Asahina Artisan can't actually stop a Water Ring because he can use the military attack, right? And so unless he had, like, it's a 0, but so he'll start off.
Yeah, but there could be buffs in hand that would allow
Yeah.
it. The other thing is that in this situation, Chutereve may well be sitting on Miyamoto's Fury, which would be a great answer, given that Darkdistroi is on no fate, so no conflict characters can come in to save him. Or alternatively, the famous Assassinate.
Yeah. Anyways, looks like Asahina Artisan is being used, so once again threatening a break.
I'm still a little confused about the Earth Ring, actually, because now that I think about it, the Air Ring does basically nothing with these honor totals.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really not sure about the Earth Ring choice. Like, I think either Void to help to, like, try and fight off the attack, or... Okay, and it looks like pass happens there, so get a break. Gonna get rid of that Forgotten Library, which is always nice. And discard Supernatural Storm. Which, not that strong right now, but definitely a card that can do a lot of work. Once Phoenix gets its Shugenja train going. Alright, yeah, it looks like that military water attack.
Yeah, so that's sort of, as we predicted, seems like a strong move. We'll see what Chutereve has in response, though. Yeah. Ooh, it is a shameful display.
It's really nice to hit the shameful display when your opponent's on no defenders, and like the only really cheap conflict character that Crane has actually non-bows with shameful display because it's Steward of Law. So 0 glory doesn't benefit from the honor, and okay, well, attempting to box here, but that definitely doesn't work. This is definitely a military conflict.
Yeah, and that's a situation where if Darkdistroi had forgotten, he could have found himself in big trouble, because you would normally want to do the political attack for that +1 strength. The question here is whether Chutereve is going to have a conflict character, or a Miyamoto's, or an Assassinate. And it looks like he's paying 1. Is that going to be Miyamoto's or a Tattooed? Or, yep, it's Miyamoto's.
Yeah, Miyamoto's.
Very strong card.
Yep. Yeah, the stream's picking up like a clicking sound, I think, from your audio. Are you using push to talk, or?
I am not. Sorry if I am loud. I will try to... I'm on a laptop computer, so I have a kind of built-in touchpad thing, but I can try to be quieter with it.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, Miyamoto's Fury stops that conflict. probably just seeing us go to cleanup from here would be my guess. Doesn't seem like maybe if Chutereve
Yeah.
if
So,
Chutereves
if
have
he
a
has a tattoo,
conflict,
though, he
yeah.
can go in for a second hit. Oh, he has a
Ooh,
storative law. That's
same principle.
also
Though.
quite good.
Yeah, yeah, potentially get a free ring here. Ooh, yeah, that's really strong.
Yep. No question, that's strong.
The only worry though is you can't attack the Elemental Fury because it's broken, and if you hit a Void province, that's going to give Darkdistroi a
Yeah, that will
fate
give a
off of the
fate.
Seeker rule to
The
potentially play
dream
his
would be
own
that
conflict character.
the dream would be that he hits a void. It gives him a fate. It's pilgrimage, so the attack doesn't do anything, and then he uses the fate to play against the waves and attack with Itsuko. But it looks like
Yeah,
that's not it.
that doesn't look like
Oh,
it. Oh, and an
ooh,
assassinate. Wow, that is.
that is imprudent. I think I would not play that
I
assassinate.
okay. So you're playing to Voice of Honor, which I really don't like, and I also just don't think you're getting. Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
the
voice
Voice
of
of Honor.
honor.
The
The
thing
other thing is,
is, assassinates just kind of suck against Crane. Like it's really hard to find windows where they have something that you really want to kill, but also they don't have anyone honored. I find it's one of the reasons Crane has such a good matchup into Phoenix. Like going into this game, I went into this assuming Crane was probably going to end up winning. Is that Crane just has such good honor control. It's really hard for Phoenix to actually make sort of take advantage of its high glory values. Anyways, yeah, pretty bad turn of events for Phoenix and pretty great turn of events for Crane there. Like countering the assassinate sweet, getting the fire ring is sweet. Definitely worth the fate it took to play the Steward of Law. Oh, interesting. Oh, true. Yeah, I guess yeah, because fire ring is dishonoring a character, but Steward of Law was in the conflict.
oh
Does the fire
yeah,
ring happen
so that was
during the
the
conflict?
conflict's still going. So that
Okay,
was
yeah,
actually
yeah.
a bit of a gaff then.
Yep. Well,
But he can honor his own. I guess he did that. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
can
he
honor
honored
his
his
own.
own artisan in order to gain an honor. Yeah. Well, that should have been just
That does mean that was probably the wrong conflict to select.
that
Then
should
it
have
would
been a
have
void
been.
ring. That should have been
Yeah.
a void ring. Yeah. Because then Isawa would be on 0 fate, and then you're not only does she go away one turn sooner, but you can also threaten her with a water ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, misplays, they happen. Everyone screws up. So the other nice thing about that conflict though was knowing where the meditations is. Because that's one that
Yeah.
you really like to know where it is, because it's either devastating when you're losing a fate, like on this Doji Challenger, for instance, or it's doing nothing because you just attack with people who are out of fate.
Yeah. So he might well want to attack that next turn,
Yep.
or if his challenger gets hit by Void Ring, which I can imagine would be a strong play for Phoenix, he can go into that with impunity now.
Yep.
Ooh, and now we're seeing looks like a strong draw from Phoenix with the Adept of the Waves, and then also the Shiba Yojimbo, who's quite strong when you have the Shigenja in play to support it, which Darkdistroi certainly does. On the other hand, Crane also has a quite strong draw.
Yeah. Definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see Crane just slam their Doji Hotaru. Oh, but instead thinking about Kaizen anyway. I guess this lets you play a Savvy Politician out, which if you have another way of the Crane or a Court Games or something like that is really good for sort of getting double honor. Yeah, and then there's the Yojimbo to offer protection to the Isawa. And also the Adept of Waves, I suppose. Though, I mean, the Isawa is obviously the higher priority target right now. Okay, and Chuterev actually just going to 0 fate in order to get out that Kaizen. And then a pass from Phoenix makes sense. Yeah, someone on the stream pointed out, and I think I agree, that the fire ring last turn might suggest noble sacrifice.
Hmm. Yeah,
Which,
that would be very strong. Though actually, the Shiba
yeah,
Yojimbo would make it hard to pull off.
yeah. Well, yeah, like last turn, thinking about last turn, trying to dishonor the Isawa rather than remove a fate from her.
Yeah,
Noble sacrifice makes sense. If
that's a good
Chutereve
point.
does have noble sacrifice, it got a lot worse. Uh, with the Shiba, not only with the Shiba Yojimbo, but also just the fire conflict not actually working. All right, and another Cloud the Mind on Kakita Kaisen. Yeah, and there's the way of the crane on Savvy Politician. Makes sense. Yeah, that's just such a nice natural combo. Okay, giving covert to the Shiba Yojimbo. I think that's what the honor represents. Is the adaptive waves ability.
Uh, yeah, the honor token.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's covert only during the water ring.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Which
Water
is
Ring has a fate on it.
still pretty nice, all in
Yeah,
all.
there's a zero fate opponent in Savvy Politician. We could see just coverting the Savvy Politician and then bowing her after after the conflict.
Yeah, I could see that definitely.
Yeah, someone in the stream is saying that Yojimbo only counters abilities, but Noble Sacrifice is definitely something that it can counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
I actually don't think of Shiba Yojimbo as being a very good card under normal circumstances, but in this situation, it's quite handy.
I actually think it's quite good. I'm a big fan of that card.
Ooh, we got a big attack. Looks like
Yeah.
the military water.
Yep.
Interestingly, they're going for the Asami province here.
Oh, double covert, because the Tattooed Wanderer was placed on the Isawa. So Kakita Kaisen and Savvy Politician both on the sidelines. And it turns out it's a
Yeah, so he's forcing the defense with the Doji Challenger.
Honestly, if I were in Chutereve's shoes, I might just sack this. Like the honor
yeah, you
loss
could
doesn't
just it. You have a lot of
this is a 6 strength. I mean,
you might have a chance of holding it. The Challenger is
it ends up being 6/6 because of the Imperial favor. Mm-hmm. Still not a bad play from Darkdistroi's perspective, since the challenger is 5 military, 7 politics, so forcing her into a military conflict is kind of nice.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we have to consider Isawa once again not in a void conflict, kind of, wasting that character's strength.
Well, you can still use it in a void conflict. She doesn't have to be there.
Oh, okay.
So that's, and I mean, void is certainly going to be a strong option.
And this board,
I don't think Isawa's ability would be sufficient to hold off a void conflict, though, given the.
No, we push up adaptive ways. But anyway, for this combat right now, we've got kicked Bonsai. Looks like on the Isawa. And we presumably a kicked Bonsai. Yep, in response on the Doji Challenger. So just Bonsai's trading. Yeah, this play does feel a bit aggressive to me. Just this, like, the more I think about this attack, like you're probably not breaking. Like, you might win the conflict, having going in 6 versus 6, but breaking seems like it would be tough. You're going to be able to bow the savvy politician, which is nice, but he still has Kaizen honored waiting in the wings versus just an agent of waves. So it feels like you're risking a break on the crackback. Yeah, I might have just held pat here. Okay, and then here's okay, and then katana. So yeah, just trading off katanas. But this is kind of what you can expect to happen, right? Is both of you have a lot of cards. You probably both have a bonsai. You probably both have a katana. You know, where is someone going to get an edge?
Yeah, so it's quite possible another Miramoto's could swing things.
I'm not sure a Miramoto's is worth it here. I probably, even if I had a Miramoto's as blue, unless the province is being threatened, I probably wouldn't use it. Like, bowing the savvy politician is nice. I guess you get a fate. You get your fate back if you win a water conflict on defense because of the keeper role, but like Miramoto's Fury is such a good defense against province breaks that I usually like to save it for when my province is actually under threat. Okay. Oh, and sending back the Yojimbo using a root. Not a card I'm used to seeing out of Crane, honestly. Which probably means this conflict is over. I can't imagine Phoenix has the resources to make up a 5 strength difference when their bonsai's already been used. On the right side, though, that does give more defense for when the Kaizen comes in. Yeah, so we see pass, and yeah, Crane recovers the fate that they spent off of their keeper roll, so they're not even really, like, they're down the card, but
they're not even that far down.
And honestly, so much was invested into that conflict, like the Tattooed Wanderer as an attachment.
Shinty, something strange is going on here. Well, I guess I could see it. Okay, it kind of makes sense.
What's weird to you?
I'm not sure why the route was played. I think I might have just accepted the loss on that one, since it wasn't breaking.
I think
because now it's the classic, like.
I think a card for keeping your savvy politician unbowed is worth it here.
It might be.
Like the play.
I guess he got the fate back from the water ring, as you said.
Why. I think if it's not a water conflict, I don't like the play because losing a fate is worth so much more to me.
But the problem is that he kept the savvy politician from bowing, but he also kept the Yojimbo from bowing.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, no, maybe it's just, and also, honestly, that's kind of why I just don't like Route and Outwit as cards.
Totally agreed. I think
I play neither in my Crane deck. Like, I don't, and like,
I think those cards are very strong. I think those cards are very strong closers But in early conflicts like this, your opponent's going to get another shot. So if there's another military conflict, which I can only imagine there will be, that Shiba Yojimbo is going to be still there as a significant force for Chutereve to deal with. Yep. On the other hand, unless Darkdistroi has some kind of political attachment in hand, he doesn't really have very much ability to defend against political, since both his guys can be bowed out by the Crane Stronghold.
Yep.
Though he might also have a court games, which would get him out of range.
Okay,
yeah, and there we see that attack.
Yep. With the no fate politician makes sense.
So does he have some kind of trick to try to hold this off? Yuo here is quite risky, I think, given the risk of the small buff going in for a brick.
Yeah. And no fate for display of power either, so.
Looks like Darkdistroi is really thinking about what to do against this attack.
Yeah, and that's making me think that he might not have...
He is defending, so he must have something, or else he's foolishly forgotten the Crane Stronghold. Or he just wants to save the honor. What might he have? Looks like he's looking at his hand. A fan, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that'll mean he's currently winning the conflict. So if Shoot indeed has a buff, he will take the advantage for the win here, but will be unlikely able to break. One thing that would be really strong is a let go, which would then re-enable the stronghold.
Yeah, let go would be... Normally let go's not that great against Ornate Fan and Fine Katana, but I think here it's definitely worthwhile. No,
yeah, so Shoot had a fan of his own, so he was threatening the break, and he'll use that to be winning but not breaking now that Darkdistroi has had a card of his own to retaliate. Now, if Darkdistroi... Yeah, he doesn't have any money. Looks like he's mulling over... Ooh.
Assassinate.
He's going real low on honor, and he's risking another Voice of Honor. Shoot hasn't drawn that many cards, though. It could be... He's drawn 15 of his cards, and he's already played one, so there's a better than even shot he doesn't have that second Voice of Honor. And looks like he indeed doesn't have it. Chutereve's removing him. This does put Darkdistroi in the hole on honor. And it also makes it maybe more dubious to defend that attack.
No, I
because if you had the assassinate...
I think that
I guess if there was the Voice of Honor,
he would get gets Voice of Honor. Not only is he he's losing his province, he's losing another honor to the no defend. I think you just
that's fair.
That's just a cost you need to play, or a cost you need to pay rather to.
It might have been good to defend and assassinate. Defend and assassinate first action.
That risks the break too, though, because then he just gets bowed. He gets.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bowed. No, you're totally right. Yeah, so I think it's a bit of an unfortunate play, but it might be the play he had to make.
You're already behind one province. I think you don't want to go behind two. I think playing conservatively here makes sense.
I can only imagine his Yojimbo. Well, let's see here. So his Yojimbo can't attack politically, or she'll get bowed. And she has Strength 5 against Kaizen's Strength 5, +1, 6 for the favor. But Kaizen doesn't really want to attack into meditation, so he would probably go somewhere else, which would then risk flipping a shameful display.
Yeah, I think you just stand pat here. You've already used military conflict with that water assault first, so...
Yeah, I would hold the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
looks
what's
like that's what
happening.
he's
Looks like
done
they've passed through
because
to the Crane second conflict. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure about this attack because you've got to assume Shameful Display is in one of those two spots. So
yeah, and that would be really rough.
you're 50-50 to hit a Shameful Display, and even if you don't, you're probably what would be the other one? Manicured Gardens, most likely.
Maybe you
Or
just
no, it would probably be an
faceplant.
Earth one. Because
Maybe you
oh
just
wait, no, because
faceplant the meditations.
oh, that is
It
rough.
stinks, but if he hits a void province, Darkdistroi gets another fate also
Yeah,
from
true.
his seeker. I think he's got to. Oh yeah, he's doing it.
Yep.
He's going straight in there.
All right.
So it's 4-6.
Again,
He's
pretty
going to lose a
conservative
fate.
line, but I suppose it's reasonable. Like, because yeah, hitting a Shameful Display is just so bad.
Yeah, so if he was hitting Shameful, he would be losing the conflict. And then
Giving
additionally,
honor.
he would give him a fate.
Yeah, it would also turn off Voice of Honor because he loses an honor on his Kakita Kaizen and then
Oh,
goes
admit
home.
defeat.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that in mind, I think the attack makes a lot of sense.
Chutereve has a relatively aggressive Kryn deck with route, admit defeat, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I really like the Admit Defeat. Not a huge fan of the route. I play 2 copies of Admit Defeat in my Crane deck. I think that card's really good because it actually bows rather than just sending them home.
Agreed. Yeah, Ballad is very strong.
It's not hard to manipulate the conflict in a way that you end up able to use your Admit Defeat.
So we're really seeing Darkdistroi. Oh, and Shoot discards a face down card and takes out a Forgotten Library.
Yep.
Oof.
And yeah, I think this is just the classic sort of Crane snowball going off. This is exactly how I like to see my Crane games go.
So here
you have honor control because like the first Voice of Honor was huge for maintaining the board state in the first turn, and then that set up this turn perfectly.
And Shoot now has an incredible advantage. He has 2 provinces broken. He's up on fate. He's up on honor, and his board is stronger.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that he's not winning on is that the players have equal cards in hand. But Shoot also has the ability to draw more aggressively if he likes. Yep. Looks like we're deciding what to take out of provinces. Darkdistroi is dumping his Masahiro, and I suspect he should dump his second Yojimbo as well.
I would do a full dump here. Oh no, it looks like
no, he stays it.
I don't like that decision. But yeah, I think Isawa Masahiro is a very strong card, but on this board, it's not doing anything because Chutereve's probably just going to grab Doji Hotaru, and at that point, he's just a 3 fate 3/2, which not very exciting. Yeah, I don't like keeping the Yojimbo. Like you don't have any Shugenja to defend. You should be trying to dig for more Shugenja. Like stat-wise, Shiba Yojimbo is not an efficient card.
It's interesting that Shoot put back his Asami, who I think would actually be pretty strong in this situation, to increase the honor pressure. But maybe he's just planning to buy Hotaru anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think you want to buy Hotaru here, and so digging for more like holdings and keepers makes sense.
Okay, looks like... Well, he does have the Meddling Mediator, who's very strong in general and will be quite useful here.
The thing is, I don't actually think the Meddling Mediator is good in this spot. I think if your opponent is declaring 2 conflicts, you're probably losing both of those conflicts, and the game's probably pretty close to over.
I think, like, by default, people declare 2 conflicts per turn.
Yep. But I think most of the time it's not like I think this is a good card when it's dissuading them from their second conflict because the advantage that they would gain from it is small enough that it's not worth having to pay a fate for it. If your second conflict is winning you the game, which Chutereve is 2 conflicts from winning the game right now, you don't really care about Meddling Mediator.
Wow, and he's playing another one of those
Yojimbos.
Shiba Yojimbo.
Yeah. I mean, there's really not much else to spend fate on here, right? Like you can.
If he was going to do that, he should have kept a Masahiro. Same cost, same stats, but can be protected by the other Yojimbo and has a relevant ability.
Not too relevant, just because Like you
Yeah,
expect
I
your
mean
opponent to buy
it's
Doji
pretty
Hataru,
likely.
but
Yeah,
like just the Shugenja tag is relevant.
yeah, and that
So
would also enable Supernatural Storm.
yep, Supernatural Storm against the waves, all sorts of things. Like Phoenix cares about Shugenja quite a bit.
Now, what do you bid here if you're Dark Destroy?
5.
I think maybe you're just like, all right,
I'm
well,
locking in 5. Chutra's probably saying 5. He's kind of low on cards. You can't afford to be behind on resources any more than you already are this conflict.
as shoot, I might well swap to 1 at this point just to make the honor.
Just to, yeah, I could see it.
Because if he does 1 and then wins Air Ring, that's game.
Yeah, that's game. Yeah.
What's going on? They're making new dials?
These dials are super buggy. This happens sometimes.
Oh, the glitch where they fly off, yeah. What is that? Is that
5 and a 2?
5 and okay, yeah, so it looks like Dark Destroy was afraid that Chutereve would go 1.
Yeah, I think you gotta just go 5 there. I don't think you can win drawing only 2 cards here. Like you're just so behind on resources now. Like your board is weaker, and Chutereve has like a 3 or 4 card advantage on. I guess 3 card right now advantage on you. I
guess he was living in fear also of Hataru resolving a double Air Ring.
Yeah, that's true, but I just don't think Chutereve with 4 cards in hand is likely to bid 1 there. I could see maybe bidding 4 just to like defend yourself a little bit more, but
yeah, I could see that.
Like I would have just locked in 5 there, assuming that Chutereve is locking in 5 as well.
Well, Dark Destroy is no longer threatened by honor.
Well, yeah, but I find out with Crane
it's not going to matter much because I think his Stronghold's going to break this turn or next.
Yep. This is exactly how I use honor whenever I'm playing Crane. Is I never try and go for the honor win. Rather, I threaten the honor win in order to get myself an advantage on cards. Like I've had many turns like this where my opponent's low on honor, they bid low, I just bid 5, and I just kill them that turn before they can recover because they're too behind on resources. I also kind of want to take this opportunity while there's a bit of a pause in the action to talk about how much I actually don't like the card Cloud the Mind. I think it's, if you compare it to other cards that are like conflicty that cost 1, I think it's just a lot lower impact. Like how many times have we seen a situation where a Doji Challenger pull would have been really good this game, but like alas couldn't. Like it didn't really come up that often, right? Like
I don't know. I think the Cloud the Mind is strong. I do think Cloud the Mind on Kaizen is a bit of an odd choice.
Yeah.
I'm fond of Cloud the Mind, but I don't think it's a 3x card. Interesting. Shoot has gone for the Military Earth. If Dark Destroy can somehow pull out this challenge, he will enable his
Solemn Scholar. Yep. Yeah, I don't know about the Earth Ring.
Yeah, that would not have been my choice either. But Shoot also has a huge card advantage, so let's see if he can turn that into a win.
Kind of feel like your first action here should just be to grab a Fate, no?
Yeah, it's just a very standard action. Ooh, Bonsai.
Bonsai, yeah.
Well, it's looking grim.
I also don't love the Fine Katana on Solemn Scholar because Chute very likely has an Assassinate.
Yeah, I think he's just thinking... Maybe he's just thinking if that Shoot has an Assassinate, he's already lost, so he has to go for the higher impact.
Yeah.
The question here is, does he have a Muramoto's or something else that can stop that challenger? And
My
if
guess is
so,
not. Based on that let go, I think if you had a Muramoto's, it doesn't make sense to play that let go.
I agree. I think that would have been a... I actually don't... Well, I guess the let go is preventing a break right now.
Yep.
So that's something, but he's kind of trying desperately to stay alive. Ooh, a counter let go.
Yep.
Losing that. That does mean that it
no assassinate
seems
for
like
sure.
he doesn't have the assassinate.
Yeah, there's no way he has an assassinate there.
So now he's in breaking range again. Does Darkdistroi have anything else that he can do to try to hang on? Clinging desperately to his last provinces, and I can only imagine if this breaks, the political hit from Chutereve is going to destroy him next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's the break.
I kind of feel like not even next. I feel like just right now.
Oh no, this turn.
This turn. Yeah.
Next attack. Well,
yep.
He could maybe do a military attack. Bow out. He could maybe do military water, bow Kaizen. Hataru attacks and it's Korimori, and he swaps it to military and she can't break it. I could maybe see that happening.
If it's gonna be, we know if it is Korimori, which I have to suspect that it is. Maybe you just hold back so that your Yojimbo can be part of the defense. Then again, like
unless he
water,
has,
you're better off. You're better off with a water attack because either he defends, in which case you're trading your Yojimbo for one of his two attackers, which both are stronger than Yojimbo.
Yeah.
Or you're succeeding in the water attack, in which case you bow the Kaizen, which is again stronger than the Yojimbo. So yeah, I think the Yojimbo, one of those situations where the best defense is a good offense. Yeah, I really like a military water attack here.
Shoot says that Darkdistroi is AFK for 2 minutes.
That's a shame.
Well, the other question is whether or not he has Shameful on his stronghold, which is apparently in fashion right now. I don't know that I quite agree with it, though. I think Korimori is so ridiculous that you really want that as your stronghold.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think...
Ooh, against the waves? Okay. Waves. Oh, no, but he discarded it to Earth. That's harsh.
Oh, oof.
Wow, I really don't understand why he discarded that Masahiro and kept the...
Maybe he drew the Against the Waves last turn, but...
Well, I don't know that Against the Waves would be enough to save him, but it might hold him off for a turn, then the Challenger and Kaizen will go away. He has a somewhat better looking situation then, but we'll see whether or not he actually has the ability to hang on. Somehow I think he might not. Looks like he's reviewing his options. He's down 5 cards. Oh, he passed his attack. Does that mean it's a Shameful? This is very strange because the Crane Stronghold can just bow the Yojimbo.
Yep. Well, not if...
Unless it is a...
Unless it's a Shameful.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, also not if it's a Curry. In fact, it just straight up can't.
Oh, yeah, because they'll swap it to military in that case. That's a good point.
Yeah. If it's a Kuramori, though, I do think attacking with a Water Ring is just better, though. Like, unless you're worried Chutereve has a way to win the conflict without one of his 2 existing characters.
There's Kuramori.
Yeah.
Will he remember his Secret of Void roll card?
It's not a...
It is non-mandatory, so I am not going to remind him.
Yeah, no, good point. Yeah, it's... Yeah, because it's a reaction.
Yeah, that's right. Correct. And it looks like he is... It looks like he is not remembering it at this point.
Yep.
But maybe he'll realize it later. Magnificent Kimono. So it looks like probably his intent here is to stop the bow. Court games on Hataru for +3 strength. It's looking interesting here. We'll see what happens. But I think this is going to be game. Yep. I think this is it.
Yep. Yeah, and really, there's not, just looking at the board, there's not much that could have been done. I guess, oh, he actually did have an assassinate. I guess just didn't need to play it. The let go was fine. But then, yeah, admit defeat here means that no matter what goes on with the flip or not, that province is breaking.
Well, that one was short and sweet. That was a harsh game for the Unicorn player here.
Or Phoenix player.
But, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Phoenix player.
I mean, it's just,
but,
it's so, it's so easy. You know, you say hard game for the, and then you just naturally want to say Unicorn, right?
Naturally feeling Unicorn. I actually feel kind of bad. We made our Unicorn card review article go live today, and feels bad. Feels bad.
Just a bunch of like 2s and 3s.
Yeah, and it's like, I think 3 or 4 of the 5 reviewers rated the Stronghold a 1, and like, yeah, wasn't great. But that's really the aggro crane game plan here, going really well. I think there were a few mistakes from the Phoenix player, but these sorts of fast games are often tough for Phoenix because Phoenix wants to get more of a setup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. And as games go longer, you sort of start to stack up fate a little bit, and that's when things like Display of Power can really come into play. But Darkdistroi never really had 2 fate to spare on something like a display.
Yeah, additionally, you want to set up stuff like Yojimbo with a strong Shigenja. A buffed Shigenja with Against the Waves, or with Yojimbo, or getting Covert from the Adept. All those sorts of things can be really strong, but they're also combinations that require multiple things to set up.
Yep.
Well,
all right. Well, that was the game. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I'm gonna sign off for now. Do you have any closing comments you want to make to the loyal viewers?
Any closing comments? Well, that was a good game. Thank you to Running Bear for hosting the commentary here.
Yeah, thanks for coming along.
Sometimes there are games that aren't 2 hours. If any of you have seen the streams of my last games, they were marathons, both for us and for the viewers. So luckily we were able to provide a quicker experience this time.
I find Crane games are usually pretty fast. Like playing Crane versus other clans, my games just tend to go faster.
That's actually kind of interesting. I've thought about, because I'm going to be going to Worlds if all goes well, and I've been thinking about what clans do well under time control.
Oh, Crane. Pick Crane.
I think Crane and Lion are quite strong. I also think that Crab does very badly at winning on time, but is going to win tiebreaks very often. The problem being that with such a small cut, I don't think you can get that many modified wins and still make it in.
Yeah. Well, anyway, on that note, I think I'm going to stop the stream. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And
Sounds good.
See you next time.
Catch you later.